Alright, hey y'all, what's up? It's Ashlyn here. So, you're gonna notice something a little different. See that? Well, got sick the other day and didn't realize that it went out of my mouth and, well, it went down the toilet with my self-esteem. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm in the process of getting a new one. It's gonna cost a little bit of money, but what can you do, right? So anyway, I've got a few books here that I wanted to start reading with you guys. We're going to do the try a chapter. So let's get into it. We have Spanking Shakespeare by Jake Weisner. 17 down, what's in a name? It's hard to imagine what my parents were thinking when they decided to name me Shakespeare. They were probably drunk, considering the fact that my father is an alcoholic and my mother gets sleepy after one glass of wine. I've given up asking them about it because neither of them is able to remember anything anymore, and the stories they come up with always leave me feeling like it might not be so bad to dig a hole in the backyard and hide out there until I leave for college next year. That is, if I get into college. My mom used to tell me that she and my father put the names of history's greatest writers and artists and musicians into a bowl and decided I would be named for whoever they pulled out. I was hoping for Van Gogh, she said. Didn't he cut his ear off? Yes, my mother said dreamily, stroking the side of my face, to give to the woman he loved. My dad remembers that he and my mom always talked about giving me an SH name to match the SH of our last name, Shapiro. We thought about Sherlock, Shaquille, and Shaka Zulu before we settled on Shakespeare. You really wanted to make my life miserable, didn't you? My father licked the rim of his martini glass. That was the plan. The worst was the time my mom came running into my room and told me she finally remembered how she and my dad had come up with my name. We did crazy things when we were younger. Is this going to traumatize me? Sometimes we would dress up in costumes. Sorry, my phone goes off so much. I don't want to hear this. You're an insane woman. We were doing a scene from Shakespeare on the day you were conceived. I'm calling child services, I yelled, running from the room. What the heck? It literally was not going off until I start recording. Her voice shrilled after me. Your father was Othello. Take a moment to consider the implications of a name like Shakespeare Shapiro. It's the first day of middle school. Everybody, oh my gosh, everything is acting up right now. Why? Okay. Take a moment to consider the implications of a name like Shakespeare Shapiro. It's the first day of middle school. Everybody is trying hard not to look nervous and self-conscious and miserable. I have intense pains in my stomach and begin to wonder if it's possible to get an ulcer in 6th grade. Good morning, everyone. Please say here when I call your name. Michael and Jennifer and David and Stephanie and all the others hear their names and dutifully identify themselves. Shakespeare Shapiro, the teacher calls out, and the class bursts into laughter. Here, I squeak. She looks up. What a fabulous name. I've never had a student named Shakespeare before. Everybody is staring at me and whispering. If the teacher doesn't call the next name soon, the situation will become critical. Already I can see some of the more ape-like boys sizing me up for an afternoon beating. I bet you're a wonderful writer, Shakespeare. I begin to wish for a large brick to fall on her head. She looks back down at her roster. Come on, I think. You can do it. Her head pops back up. Just read the next name, I blurt out. And so, less than 10 minutes into my middle school career, I'm already in trouble, and all because of my ridiculous name. This is the story of my life, which has been a series of catastrophes, one after another. I'd like to say there have been some happy times too, but the reality is that with 17 years down, nothing much has gone right so far. As I begin my senior year of high school, here are the facts I wake up to each morning and go to sleep with each night. 1. After 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of middle school, and 3 years of high school, I have only two close friends, Neil Wasserman, whose favorite thing to do is discuss his bowel movements, and Katie Marks, whose favorite thing to do is tell me how pathetic I am. 2. I have never had a girlfriend, never kissed a girl, and spend most Saturday nights watching TV with my parents before whacking off to internet porn in my bedroom. 3. My younger brother, 2 years younger, has a girlfriend, is extremely popular, and will definitely lose his virginity before I do. I should warn you, some of the material you're about to read is disturbing. Some of it will make you shake your head in disbelief. Some of it will make you cringe in disgust. Some of it might even make you rush out into the stormy night, rip your shirt from your body, and howl, "Why, God, why?" Then again, maybe you'll just sit back and smell, secure in the knowledge that your name is not Shakespeare Shapiro and this is not your life. Whoa. That's intense. That was a lot to take in just a few short... Wow. Okay. Anyway, definitely looks like something that's going to be interesting. If you guys are interested in it, like the video down below so I know if you're interested. Definitely not something for younger crowd. Alright, next we got Creep, which is a love story by Legia de Penaflor. I could watch them together all day, maybe forever. They're that beautiful. I wish I could. I wish. Lainey Villanueva and Nico Fiore are here. They're walking toward me. She's holding books, physics, Spanish, a tablet. He's carrying a black JanSport and wearing his purple sweatshirt that's ratty at the cuffs. The one he wears on cool mornings and carries home on warm afternoons. His eyes, her smile, their hands tightly clasped announce, "Here we are." The decals on the glass doors say, "Holy Family High School, be the light." Every day I see those words. I stand behind this counter and gosh, stop. Every day I see those words. I stand behind this counter and stare at the letters backwards, and today is the day they finally make sense. Be the light. Lainey Villanueva and Nico Fiore shine. Lainey's in front of me wearing her Leadership Club polo shirt. This is the closest I've been to her since last spring when she stood behind me in line for confession. I listened to her and Anna Largo as they whispered. I wanted to hear what Lainey was going to confess. I needed to know, had to know, couldn't live until I knew about her and Nico and the things they'd done together. Lainey's sins must have been beautiful, but the whispers were about Anna's brother and his drinking. Anna's parents were running out of options. It was nothing important. It wasn't about Lainey and Nico, their private selves, their vices, their secrets. Lainey is happy and tan, even under this fluorescent lighting. "Hi," she says. There's a dimple in her left cheek because she's trying to kill me. "We're just getting in." She peeks at the principal's office. Through vertical blinds, we can see Father Philip on the telephone. Lainey leans forward and says softly, "We were at the DMV." The scent of coconut shampoo clings to her wet black hair. I'm lightheaded from breathing her in. Nico Fiore is rubbing her back. I can feel the even pressure of his fingers circling. I can almost feel it. Warm, comforting, tingly. I wonder if Lainey is used to his touch or if it's distracting her at this very moment, even after 10 months of being his girlfriend. She takes the quickest, lightest breath beneath his palm, only a flash of a response, but I see it and I know what it means. Nico Fiore's touch will bring shivers until the end of time. We took the driver's test, Nico says. His sandy-colored hair is wet too, and it smells the same as Lainey's, of coconut and, what is it? Something else. Almond? Lainey has touched his hair. I've seen her touch it. She knows how soft and how thick it is. Just yesterday they were hugging out by the soccer field. I watched her squeeze the back of his head and curl her fingers into his scalp as he lifted her loafers off the grass. The wind blew. Lainey's hair covered them both, and suddenly they were faceless in their own separate world. I thought, this is autumn. It's the beginning of everything, not the end. You both took the driving test? I thought it was impossible to book an appointment. Seniors complain all the time how they have to wait weeks for a test. I guess we just got lucky. Lainey shrugs. I squint at them. I've already seen them in and out of Nico's car. He already has a license. Don't you drive a black Jeep? Me? No. You must be thinking of someone else. He blinks. Even his eyelashes look wet. I picture him emerging from a swimming pool in slow motion, like any commercial, his skin golden, his face upturned toward the sun. Oh, probably. Sorry. They're lying about the DMV, and now so am I. We're in this together, the three of us, Lainey, Nico, and me. I check on Father Philip, who's searching through his file cabinet. May he never find what he's looking for. Well, Mr. Bardo stepped out for her coffee, or Miss Bardo stepped out for her coffee, but I can give you late passes. Father Philip looks up at me for a split second. I just need to see the DMV papers. Okay. Lainey rifles through her tote bag, a puffy quilted pouch with gold buckles and multiple compartments. Item by item, she unpacks her life onto my counter. I want to run my fingers over Lainey Villanueva's things, her fat yellow hair tie, a Ziploc bag of baby carrots, earbuds, her makeup pouch, index cards bound with a rubber band, highlighters in green and pink, a paperback Othello tabbed with multicolored post-its, a handful of Ludens that click softly as they hit the surface, her fuzzy socks with pastel stripes, her ballet slippers, satin point shoes, scuffed at the toes with lamb's wool bursting out from the insides. I can smell the leather soles and Lainey's dried sweat. I want to bend them in my hands, feel the stiffness, and then give. I have to. I can't help it. I reach out with my right hand and touch a ribbon with my pinky. It's frayed and like a feather against my knuckle. I want to be her. I guess I must have lost the papers. I slide my hand away. I probably dropped them somewhere between the DMV and here. Darn. I want to keep Lainey and Nico here with me for as long as I can. Well, their eyes, hers dark brown and his shiny bright hazel, hang on my answer. Did you guys pass the test? Because I can copy your temp licenses to put on file. Nico has a zit on his chin, a small pink bump that's higher and pinker in the center. It will break through tomorrow. Whenever I see Nico Fiore from across the cafeteria, it's as if I'm watching him on television. He grows taller and broader every season, and his hair grows from neat to shaggy and then neat again. His friends revolve around him. They move in and out of his storyline. Here at arm's length, Nico Fiore is better than a TV character. He's real. I could reach out and feel his chest. He's flesh and blood and flaws, a real boy with a pimple. No, neither of us passed. The real boy isn't used to lying. He isn't good at it. I'm sorry. We're terrible drivers, Nico says, looking sweetly at Lainey, as if he's proud of how terrible they are. It was the parallel parking. I didn't know what I was doing. Nico watches as Lainey skews her hands perpendicular. That's okay. Neither did I. Nico and Lainey lock eyes, dark to Hazel and Hazel. Suddenly I disappear. I'm invisible to them. I hear that's always the killer. The parallel parking. It's just him and her now, and the flyaway hairs that Nico is tucking behind Lainey's ear. He's savoring the task as if each strand is a reason he loves her. It's alright, though. It was only our first time. Lainey leans on her elbows and tilts her head to look up at him. She's gone now. She's lost in him. We'll get it right. Don't worry. She closes her eyes slowly. As she inhales, her body rises. Nico traces the outline of Lainey's face and with his thumb. It's over for him. He's gone too. He's lost in her. We just have to retake it, right? We'll have to do it a bunch of times. They've done it. They slept together. They did it just this morning for the very first time. An hour ago, they were in bed under the covers and wrapped up in each other. And then they were in the shower together, flushed and sore in tender places, laughing over what they had just done. Then they came straight here to me. Now I smell coconut and almond shampoo on her and on him, on them. The scent fills me to the brim. This is the biggest morning of their lives, and I'm the very first person to see them. It's a miracle to witness falling. Love? Lainey blushes 2 shades redder. She drops her head and lets out a long breath. Her hair cascades onto my counter. Nico lowers his face and kisses her earlobe. I'm done. I'm gone. I could watch them together all day, maybe forever. They're that beautiful. I wish I could. I wish I could reach my hand out. I guess it's okay this time. Lainey lifts her head lazily and stretches. Nico shifts Tort shifts forward. I've broken their spell. It's my deepest regret. Just don't forget the test papers next time you retake it. We won't forget next time, we promise. We. Lainey and Nico are a we. They wake every morning and fall asleep every night unalone in the world. How does it feel? What is it like to have someone and to be someone in return? So you'll stamp our late passes? It's the most ridiculous question that's ever been asked. I would stamp their passes to Emerald City, to Narnia, Terabithia, Disneyland, anywhere they want. Ask me to stamp anything, Nika Fior, and I'll stamp it. This one's a little interestingly written and very awkward that I don't even know. I don't think I really want to continue this one. This one's just too weird for me. I might try it later on my own. Alright, we got A Night to Die For by Lisa Schroeder. This one was actually like one of my anticipated reads. So we're going to do it. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, so I just kind of skipped ahead a little bit for a second to see how many pages this one is. It's going to be like 20 pages or so. I'm not going to do this one because this is a continuation of a series and I'm not through all of the other books yet. So that one is not going to be read by me. So we just have this one and then one more. Hey Josh, excuse my scribbles. Prom awaits as you know. And I need to get ready, but I can't stop thinking about discovering you around the corner last night. I know you heard things and you're probably thinking I've lost my mind. But I promise I'm fine. Pissed at you for listening in on my phone conversation? Absolutely. However, I know we do stupid things in the name of love, so I forgive you. This time. I'm sure my attitude lately has you worried, but please try to understand what your diagnosis and everything that came with it did to me. It tore me apart, it broke me. I tried to stay strong, but you're my little brother, and when I saw up close how fragile life is, it messed with me. Yes, you're better now, and it probably doesn't make any sense that I can't just go back to normal. The thing is, maybe normal is a big fat lie, or maybe it doesn't apply to me. I know I'm hard to love sometimes, and I'm sorry for that, but please believe me when I say I'm fine. And when tonight is over and tomorrow comes, I'm going to be so much better than fine. You just have to trust me. Can you do me a favor? Don't say anything to anyone about what you heard last night. I will reveal all to you soon, I promise. Our secret for now, okay? People wouldn't understand. I really don't want to be that girl. Love you to the moon and back, Maribel. Jason. Congrats to our prom king and queen, Mario and Maribel. Hope to see you at my house later to celebrate. # royalty invite. Lucas. Are you kidding me? At Luigi Fanboy is prom king. I wish I'd been there to see that. Congrats, Mario. Eva. OMG, that was so funny. Did you see at Luigi Fanboy's face when he realized his crown had worms in it? Someone better have video. Donnie. You want video? I've got video. # funniest prank ever. Elena. How come at Belle of Willow didn't have anything weird going on with her tiara? Is it because she's the one who did it? I wouldn't put it past her. Maribel. Hey, at Elena Dex. Mario loves worms. Just ask him. And by the way, keep your mouth closed up tight if he tries to kiss you. Otherwise, you'll get way more than you bargained for. Elena. At Belle of Willow. Ew. Mario. Nope. At Belle of Willow. I never said I love worms, and that was a long time ago. Maybe I've changed. Parker. What are you talking about at Belle of Willow? Something you need to tell me? Maribel. At Parker _ brands. It was a long time ago. You and I have bigger things to worry about. Trust me. Parker. At Belle of Willow. Looks like the ride over to at Jumps 23's house is going to be a fun one. Can't wait to hear the story. Maribel. Remember, friends, the truth will set you free. Holding tight to that thought tonight. Lucas. Dude, what is happening? Mario. When the principal put the red velvet crown on my head, I felt things crawling in my hair. Unbelievable. Lucas. Sorry, man, but hey, the Prince of Intellect and the Princess of Imagination became prom king and queen. That's pretty lit. Mario. I think she did it. Maribel. The worms, I mean. Shake my head. Our dance was awkward as fuck. And then on top of that, she decides to bring up our stupid kiss from years ago on Twitter. Shit. Lucas, the video's going viral, man. You're gonna be famous. Mario, I think I'm gonna be sick. I look like such an idiot. Lucas, you think she targeted you? How'd she know you'd be the one chosen king? Wouldn't she have wanted her Prince of Charm Parker to get it along with her? Mario, no clue, but I wish he'd gotten it. It's not like I wanted it. Hey, gotta go. People are leaving for Jason's party now. Wish you were here, man. Lucas, hang in there. See you tomorrow? I want to hear about it. Mario, yeah, see you. Mario, a car approaches, but not just any car. When he spots me standing next to my little Nissan pickup, he turns on his flashing red and blue lights. There isn't much traffic out here, especially late at night. No houses nearby either. This section of Westinghouse Road has just 2 lanes and then grass with lots of tall fir trees farther back. The ditch is a few feet deep, and that's where the girl's body lies, fully clothed in a red dress and heels. My whole body is shaking. I take a deep breath and roll my shoulders back, retelling myself to relax. The deputy gets out of the car and shines a light on me. You alright, son? I cross my arms in front of my stomach and hope I can keep it together. I was driving by and saw something in the ditch. I couldn't tell what it was. I got out and shined the flashlight on my phone down there. Just as I saw it was a girl. You pulled up. The beam from his flashlight moves from me to her. Oh no. He starts running down into the ditch. He yells up at me. You sure you didn't hit her with your vehicle? No, yeah, I'm sure I didn't hit her. I swear. I call back. I just found her there. He's down there for only a minute before he's radioing for help. Dispatch, I've got a female juvenile and she's unconscious with no pulse. Sun Medical, Code 3, and extra units. Location is West Inner Road, just south of Hart Road. Her skin is tacky. I'm starting CPR. I pace the side of the road, back and forth, back and forth. I keep wondering if there's something I should be doing, but he told me to stay put. After a few minutes have passed, I yell out, is it working? He doesn't answer. A minute later, I hear the sirens. A fire truck and an ambulance pull up, and a few seconds later, another deputy. I stand back and watch as everyone moves into action. When the original deputy climbs back up the steep embankment a while later, he's breathing hard. Dispatch, page out detectives. Is she dead? I ask. I read his name tag. Deputy Mitchell. He wipes his brow as he replies, yes. He circles my truck, his flashlight zooming in on every little dent and scratch. Beam finds Elena, my prom date, curled up in the front seat. She doesn't even stir. Oh, God, I mutter. I hold my stomach tighter. I can't believe this is happening. The other deputy goes to work taping off the scene with crime tape. Deputy Mitchell pulls out a notebook. Can I see some ID? I pull out my wallet and hand him my driver's license. After he writes my information down, he says, step over here with me, please, away from your vehicle. I follow him over to his car. Who's the girl in your truck? My prom date, Elena Dexter. She's kind of out of it at the moment. Too much to drink. I don't want to tell him, but he'll check for sure no matter what I say. Yes. Just broke up a party not too far from here. You two go to a party tonight after prom? Yes. How'd you know? Neighbor called it in, said it was getting noisy. So what about you? Have you been drinking as well? No. Can you tell me what happened tonight? We left the party and Elena didn't want to go home right away. Didn't feel well, So I drove around. She passed out and then, like I said earlier, I saw something in the ditch, so I stopped. Looks like the deceased came from prom as well. Didn't find any ID on her. Any chance you might have been able to see her face well enough to identify her? Yeah, she goes to my school. Her name's Maribel Starr. I want to say she's the girl I stood beside on stage just a few hours ago when we were crowned king and queen. I can't believe she's dead. You sure about that? Positive. Did she have a date for the prom? Yes, Parker Young is her boyfriend. He finishes up his notes, then reaches around and opens the back door of his car. Mario, I'd like to have you take a seat back here. I'm going to need to get a breathalyzer test, and then a detective will want to talk to you. Okay. After he gives me the breathalyzer, which comes out clean, he tells me to hang tight, and so I do. I call my mom to tell her about finding Maribel and what's happened since then, that I hope to be home soon. She's worried, of course, but there's nothing I can do. After we're done talking, I sit back and wait while watching the commotion outside. More cops arrive, including a state trooper, and the road is completely blocked off on both sides. At one point, I see Deputy Mitchell talking to Elena, who's finally woken up. A while later, a different deputy pops his head in. Just have a few more questions to ask you. He'll be over in a few. Do I get to go home soon? Hopefully it won't be much longer. One of the patrol cars pulls out and drives away. Where's he going? To the victim's home, he says softly. He looks up at the sky like he's trying to keep tears back. Every year, parents worry about their kids on prom night, hoping and praying they keep their wits about them, hoping they don't do something crazy and end up in a ditch somewhere. He shakes his head and looks in the vicinity of Maribel. What a tragedy. Alright, so I'm going to stop it there. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. That's insane. Wow. So definitely going to keep reading that one because, I mean, it deals with a murder investigation, like, right off the bat from prom. So there's that. Alright, this next one is an anthology series. It's called Cry Your Way Home by Damien Angelica Walters. I'm not 100% sure. It's quoted by Joyce Carol Oates. It says, of our hurt, oh, yeah, they quoted Joyce Carol Oates. Of our hurts, we make monuments of survival if we survive. So this one's called Tooth, Tongue, and Claw. Once upon a time, there was a monster. This is how they tell you the story. This is a lie. He isn't cruel and he didn't eat her. She isn't sure if that's a kindness or not. She isn't sure of anything but the locks and the keys and the secret scream hiding in her throat. And the last is suspect. Sometimes it tastes like laughter. But she's still alive. She tells herself this means something. He tugs on the tether attached to the chain around her neck. A gentle tug, but it's enough. His claws click on the stones of the rocky path leading away from the cave toward the town and sound like chattering teeth, and although the bottoms of his feet are thick and leathery, she feels every jagged edge, every sharp point beneath the soles of her satin slippers. He moves slightly for his size. Beneath his steps, the ground merely quivers. She takes a few steps until he stops again. People stand on either side of the path. A few wear smiles, but most carry only relief on their faces, for they all know what she did. The gazes touch, linger, penetrate. She wants to scream that they have no idea what it's like. How can they? But she won't. Even if she could, they wouldn't care. All the faces here belong to strangers, but even if they were her people, they would extend neither hand nor choice. She's on display, so they'd know she's still among them, so they know they're still safe. Does he want them to know he didn't tear her head from her shoulders, rip her limbs from her torso, and toss the pieces aside? He has that right. He's had that right since the day she was given to him. They don't do that anymore, her mother said time and time again, but her eyes said otherwise. Or does he want to merely assure them that she didn't succeed, that his power is still nothing to be trifled with? Sorry, I heard something. To be challenged? Yes, it's apparent in the set of his jaw, the carriage of his spine. She keeps her chin raised too, so they don't forget she was strong enough to try. Lies are like bits of straw. When there's only one, it would be easy to pick it up, break it in two, bring the pieces out into the light. But then you add a second and you can't find a way to dislodge one without the other. A third, a fourth, a fifth, and soon the weight of the pile is impossible. It becomes a maze with no solution. Best to pretend it's truth, not a tangle of fiction. When they return inside, he closes the iron gate set deep into the stone, locks it, closes the outer door, locks it too, then the inner door. When the final tumblers clunk into place, he slips the keyring onto a chain around his neck, the same sort of chain that circles hers, yet she doesn't fool herself into believing he's a prisoner too. Line number 1. This is a great honor. He doesn't touch her once they're in bed. He has before, and he was as gentle as possible. She knows he wants to again, and in time he will. No one told her about that part. Excuse me. That was a kindness. On her side, she stares at the bed curtains, heavy and embroidered in gold and silver like everything else in his home. She refuses to call it hers. She never will. Strange that monsters would adore such finery, or perhaps it's only her monster that cares for such things. No curtains surrounded her bed at home, no tapestries covered the walls, yet she would trade all the guilt in the world for the chance to return. She presses her face into the pillow, willing away the impossible dream. One hand sneaks to the chain around her neck. The links are small and delicate, but a chain is still a chain. It marks her as a possession, a thing, not a person. There is neither spell nor curse to break. This is not a love story. He will always be a monster. She will always be chained. This is weird. In the morning, he traces the side of her face with one of his claws, not hard enough to break the skin, but firm enough to leave behind a sting. She doesn't lean into his touch, nor does she pull away. His eyes are the color of leaves beneath an early twilight sky, his teeth slivers of moon reflecting on water, and his pelt a shade of night. He speaks mainly in his native tongue, all grunts and hisses, rolling growls, and throaty sounds that remind her of a cat when its head is scratched. When he speaks the language of humans, the words sound as if they're formed by a mouthful of pebbles. Though many have tried, no human has ever deciphered the language of monsters. Who can say if things would be different if they had? He leaves the bedchamber without touching her again, though he seems to pause briefly in the arched doorway. She wishes she could be content because it would be so much easier for her, for him, for everyone. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it's been ever since the monsters awoke from their deep slumber and claimed their place as leaders of men and beasts alike. This is the possibility for every second-born daughter, something she was taught from the moment she was capable of learning. Why she isn't content, she doesn't know. Maybe the others aren't content either. After the drawing, while the councilman waited outside, her mother brushed her hair for a long time without speaking, without meeting her eyes. She thought she heard a faint whisper, a muffled "I'm sorry," though it might have been only what she wished to hear. He brushes her hair now, the silvered handle awkward in his grip. She closes her eyes, pretends she is still a child, pretends it's her mother's hand holding the brush. But the breath touching her neck and the musky smell of him tells her the truth. Line number 2. In time you will forget your old life and come to embrace the new. This is so weird. Line number 3. As a second daughter, your natural born duty is the safety and security of others. Line number 4. They cut out your tongue so your voice, your words will not anger him. Line number 5. He is the monster. I don't know, that's weird. Okay, so there's that. This is going to be kind of interesting. It's going to probably be hit or miss with some of the stories in this. It's kind of set up a little interesting as well. Anyway, that is all the books that I read for you. That is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 books that I read for you. So that's the Try chapter. If any of these interest you, like I know for a fact that this one most definitely does interest me to like a higher extent. Same with the Spanking Shakespeare one. I'm really excited for these two for sure. Like these two right here are like gonna be my go-tos, I think. So I hope you enjoy this. If you find any books that interest you, please let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!